Newspapers across the country on Sunday morning splashed bold headlines pointing to mounting tension within security forces and Statehouse. Classified memos and insider reports have leaked details of high-level meetings between military commanders, intelligence heads, and top government officials, all scrambling to respond to what is shaping up to be a massive national protest on Saba Saba Day. This year's Saba Saba, set for Monday, is unlike any other. Traditionally, a day to honor the struggle for multi-party democracy in Kenya. The date has taken a new meaning. It's no longer just a moment to remember history. It's becoming a frontline for a generational battle. Kenya's Gen Z, bold and digitally organized, has called for mass demonstrations across the country, and they are not asking for permission. The government is feeling the heat. The past few weeks have exposed serious cracks in how prepared it is to handle widespread decentralized protest. What began as opposition to police brutality and taxation has now snowballed into something bigger. Gen Z has taken the reins of a leaderless movement, demanding accountability, transparency, and an end to decades of poor governance. No party is safe from criticism. No official is untouchable. The question now hangs in the air. Is the Ruto administration ready? Sources indicate Statehouse has moved into full crisis management mode. Special forces units have been placed on standby. Military trucks have been spotted near major installations in Nairobi. The General Service Unit (GSU) is reportedly preparing for rapid deployment across key hotspots. Even the National Intelligence Service (NIS) has ramped up surveillance on social media and communication platforms to monitor protest coordination. But the unease goes beyond logistics. There is growing panic inside the highest levels of government. The near breach of Statehouse grounds during last week's protest was a wake-up call. Never in recent memory have protesters come that close to the nerve center of power. That incident triggered an emergency review of the Statehouse security perimeter and rapid response capabilities. Behind closed doors, some security officials are said to be urging caution. There is fear that any heavy-handed approach could escalate the already volatile situation, but others in government are pushing for zero tolerance. President William Ruto has previously signaled that chaos will not be tolerated, but Gen Z seems unfazed.
I want to tell you, hate brings conflict. Conflict brings violence. Violence is not a solution to unemployment, is not a solution to any of the challenges that Kenya is facing. So, if your strategy is anchored on hate for other people, for leaders, how are you going to provide a solution for our nation?
Unlike past protests, this generation is moving differently. There are no chants led by political parties, no branded t-shirts or hired crowds. These are ordinary young people, students, creatives, techies, hustlers armed with phones, hashtags and courage. Their approach is decentralized, spontaneous and difficult to control. That's exactly what's making authorities nervous. Security agencies are now grappling with a protest movement that doesn't play by the old rules, and Monday's Saba Saba commemoration could be the biggest test yet. Across the countries, cities are bracing for impact. Businesses in Nairobi CBDs are expected to remain shut. Activists in Mombasa, Kisumu, Kisumu, Eldoret and Nakuru and even smaller towns are mobilizing for simultaneous demonstrations. Telegram groups are buzzing, posters are circulating, influencers are dropping coordinates. Meanwhile, the public mood is tense. Many Kenyans, young and old, are watching how the government will respond. The memory of police brutality in previous weeks is still fresh. Victims of abductions, harassment and shootings have become martyrs of the cause. Every misstep by authorities only fuel more anger and resistance. There is also a growing concern about whether the military might be deployed to back up the police. Such a move, while legal under extreme circumstances, would mark a dangerous shift. The last time Kenya flirted with that line was during post-election violence. Doing so now against peaceful youth-led protest could spark outrage both locally and internationally.
National Police Service remains steadfast in its commitment to protecting lives and property across the country. We assure the public that we will continue pursuing and dismantling criminal networks to ensure the safety and security of all Kenyans, residents and visitors.
For President William Ruto, the stakes couldn't be higher. Sabasaba could be either a moment of reckoning or a moment of collapse. If handled with force and arrogance, it could entrench the idea that the regime is out of touch. If met with calm and humility, it could open the door to healing and dialogue.
It is important to note that unauthorized persons must refrain from accessing protected areas. Under the Protected Areas Act, the public is also urged to refrain from provocative acts directed to police officers in the execution of their duties.
But the clock is ticking. Sabasaba is no longer just a historic moment. It has become a living battlefield. And for the youth, Monday isn't about marking the past. It's about forcing change for the future.
Appeal to the public to continue supporting our efforts and to report suspicious activities to the nearest police station. All the same via the provided channels, our focus remains on being a professional, efficient and responsive police service that delivers effective, people-centric and accountable policing for safe and prosperous society.
A total of 27 national and county government vehicles were destroyed and 65 civilian vehicles parked in various police stations, including a school bus, were burnt. The criminals were aiming at the officers on duty. They were after guns in the armories and the police uniforms. 5 firearms were stolen in Dagoretti Police Post, Kiambu County, while 4 were burnt at